And we're live, the first live AMA. Well, Marbitz and 2-Bit, this is the first time. We were just talking backstage. This is the first time we be on live together, and we've been in the space for, it's been some years now. It's been some time.
It really has. It really has. I was just saying, you know, one of the first channels I remember subscribing to back in the day and getting back into this idle space. And here we are. Like, here we are. I'm officially on the captain's channel, so I'm excited about this one.
Yes. And I've been looking at the project literally all day. And the gaming industry is definitely going to be one of the categories that's going to do very well in 2025. And you definitely have something that people will be interested in.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we tried to hit a number of different markets. I think what's interesting is you've got a narrative that we set out to just do something different. You know, the easy thing in the game is to launch a meme coin, isn't it? You know, build some random contract, chuck a meme coin out and, you know, see where it goes to. This was 8 months of dedication, hard work, building a project around a community as well. You know, I mean, the fact that, you know, I have a YouTube channel, like we're content creators, and here we are talking about one of my projects is kind of wild. So yeah, we set out to do something totally unique, totally different. We built it with so many different parts to it as well, which I think are unique to the space. So yeah, I'm excited to take you through it and you know, get your view. And I know you did a fantastic video for us as well, and the captain spreadsheet was there. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
I got another update coming in just to let the audience know you guys are going to love this. So it basically tracks the progress of the project as how many, it basically encourages you to add more. That's all it does. It encourages you to add more to HODL and see that potential profit. That's what the captain spreadsheet was created, just to kind of give you a tracker. Let me see if I got 10,000 tokens and it goes here. This is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, exactly. And the good thing as well is we've tried to build this in such a way that actually those tokens you can use, you can hold. We've tried to bring in so many different parts of, you know, crypto that isn't just buy it and hope other people buy on top of you so that then you can sell at a different point. You know, we want to bring something different. We want to bring opportunity. You know, we're already starting to see a bit of fruits of our labor. So yeah, there's a ton to it. And that's just on the surface. I mean, when you start to get into some of the kind of smart contract stuff we've done, it is entirely unique in the space that I don't think's been done before. So yeah, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it.
How, before we dive in, how did you come up with this idea? Because normally content creators, influencers, it's a meme coin, it's a duck, you put a hat on it, it jumps up and it goes up and it goes down and it goes back up, whatever. We know that. But you came out with something that's actually, you can actually use and get real value. How did this happen? How?
So building a project around a community. So I've always been in a world where pay things forward, do the right thing. And when I got into the whole crypto scene, there were certain people I followed that I really respected what they were doing in the space. And there were some people that just were in it to make a buck. There was no real ambition behind it. They just wanted to come in, tell you to go and buy this complete garbage, and that was it. And I always kind of said, look, I'm not going to do a token. I was never going to do it. And it was born out of the bear market of 2022, where everyone was kind of coming onto live streams and saying, hey, the market's terrible and the market's down. I was like, do you know what? Like you, I want to be a glowing positivity in the space. I'm just about doing the right thing. And, you know, so we started to just raise some marbles, do a little bit of a thing. And I've always been in a world where, you know, people who donated to the channel, I took all those donations and we gave it back. We gave away roughly about $16,000 on my channel over the course of the last couple of years. Firm believer in paying it forward, build a community around it, do all the right things. And then the kind of community were like, you should tokenize this. You'll know as well as I do, the YouTube is a great platform, but they want their cut of anything you get. They absolutely want a little bit. And so people would donate. And, you know, as content creators, that all doesn't come to us. I think a lot of people don't know that YouTube take their little cut and you pay your taxes and they take their little cut. So we wanted just to build something that was fun, that people could just be involved in. But more importantly, you ended up with a community that was driven by doing things right. And, you know, I'm very fortunate that I've got a community of people around me and a community that's growing as well that do the right thing. They pay it forward. We've bought Christmas dinners for kids. We've just done all the right things, I think, in the space. And, you know, a lot of us are very fortunate in our circumstance. So yeah, so it was kind of, I guess, a way of moving from a very basic model we had on my channel and tokenizing it. You know, RWA is going to be a big thing. And And then we set out to work with it, and that was the key bit, really.
Yeah, and I see the communities involved, a lot of familiar names that I've seen. And it's I see Vern Friends, thanks for the super chat. I see some people here, Tim. I see El Kim. Yeah, I'm seeing Obi Joe. See some of the same names I've seen in around. It's good to see people in here. I see LKM Land Crypto. This is awesome. I mean, yeah, you building something and you build a community out of it, and it's utility. It's actually real utility. Shall we look at the website and break some things down?
Yeah, 100%.
Go ahead and say.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I would start already. So we've been out nearly 3 weeks. You know, did the usual run up and the kind of comeback and the kind of consolidation where we are right now. But, you know, already as we sit today, you know, we've given away the best part of over $7,000 in prizes. There's not a lot of tokens that can kind of talk about that out there. But, you know, we just wanted to do things different. We wanted to do things right. We wanted to do things that I guess a lot of tokens aren't doing. If you think about the meme space, the reality here is that a lot of tokens will come out, chuck a meme coin out there, and you've basically got to sell before other people sell. That's how you make your money in meme coins. There's nothing really on the back of it, unless you're in the, you know, the very small 1% that end up absolutely skyrocketing. So, you know, we wanted to do things different. And what we didn't do was rush this. You know, we built it over the course of 6 or 7 months. We have a full stack development team that sit on the back of it, which is all insured and licensed and born out of a company in the US. All the rights to it all sit with me. You know, we did everything right. We sought legal advice. We made sure that absolutely everything was dialed in to make sure that our community was right. And, you know, we made sure that the investment came from me. We weren't going to be a project that required community investment. We just weren't in that place.
Yeah, and I think the fact of your experience in terms of community content, also about what's needed in the market, and you combine something with safety, security with this, and launching it. See, this is brilliant though, because sometimes we don't use our talents to really put a real project. We want to meme because everybody loves meme, but if you get something of value, this could stand for a long time. I'm serious, because the gaming niche, I was looking at actually how much money pumped in. It's still billions of dollars pumping into the gaming niche. And so gaming, AI, RWA, those are sectors that, and of course memes, those are sectors that people would definitely want to get in, hodl, and wait for this bull run.
Yeah, 100%. And look, you can feel the website. We actually had 2 iterations of the website. One was very deliberate, very kind of sticking to the gaming side of things. But actually, when you want to launch a token, you want volume, you want holders, you want awareness, you've got to dial into a meme space. Let's just be honest. You know, whether people like it or not, the meme coin space is crazy. It drives volume. It drives new people to the market. You know, seasoned investors will look for something a little bit different, but the meme coin narrative's big. And so this was kind of where we sort of wanted to start with this, which was, okay, how do we bring community people in? More importantly, though, how do we reward some of these people? And then how do we build it correctly? So we talk about the gaming narrative. We're already in discussions with a UK-based gaming development company to build our own game out on the back end of this. We've been fully audited and a number of different things. You know, we, like you said, doing the things that I look at when I take on a project as a content creator. Okay, well, if I'm an investor, what do I always get let down by? What's the things that I always seem to just slip up on? The fact that I'm live 6 days a week on YouTube means that for the first time, I think in history, anyone that's invested in our project can speak to the developers 6 days a week of this project.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's true. You got the access to you and as well. So you're not going anywhere. So you're not hiding behind the curtain. You're not necessarily hiding behind something else. You're like, hey, I'm here. You know my channel. You know my Twitter page. You know the website. You know my Telegram as well. So that brings trust already. So people know, okay, he's going to be there to help push this as well. And you get other people involved to talk about it, which makes it even more safe and secure.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And look, that was kind of a narrative that we want to do. And then on the back end of that was a case of, okay, well, how do we actually make the project safe? How do we make the project as secure as we can? How do we make sure that people that are looking to invest in this project can literally go and really scrutinize it? One of the things I said to the community as we built this project, and this was a case of over 8 months on the live stream, we'd be talking about some of the things we're doing. We're taking advice from certain people. We're giving the community a view. Was, okay, well, at certain points, let's go and test our decentralized application. We built our own dApp, code by code, line by line. We built every single thing from scratch. None of it is, you know, third party that we've taken from someone else. Every single thing we built. And then you get into the audits. We audited this by 11 different individuals. We audited it twice on 2 safe
Yeah,
codes.
I noticed that.
Did
Yeah,
everything.
How many audits is it again?
So we had 2. So it's a dual smart contract project. So if you go right to the very top, you can see both of our content, our audits on there. But it's a dual smart contract and a dual liquidity pool as well, which has never been done in this space before. So if you keep going all the way right to the very top, you'll see there's 2 console apps for both of our smart contracts that we run. So you can see there
it is. Come on, guys, come on here. And she mentioned it too. She says something about the audit as well in here. So people want to hear that. They want to make sure. Yeah. See, you already know what buttons to push already. You know good and well it needs to be audited. It needs to have actually, a website. It needs to have information that people can follow. And CoinSoul's good. This is good.
Yeah, so if you check the audit as well, we were a full green audit. There wasn't a single concern. Some contracts and tokens come out with, little kind of revisions, or they come out with some kind of just little bits and pieces. So this is actually our kind of betting contract. So this is the gaming side of it. Our token contract was audited as well, just to give you some real confidence to our investors. They weren't just AI audits as well. These were manually audited by 11 different individuals, and then they classified everything. So we actually didn't have a single bit of vulnerability within our contract on both the token side of things and ours.
Come on here. Pass. I feel like I'm in grade school again. All I want is just a green pass. All I want is green. I want no red. I want green. Green. Check. Look at this, guys. Look at all this pass. This is good. And look, it's how many pages it says pass?
Yeah, so every single thing was passed. And if you keep scrolling down, the only few things they brought up was centralization risks, where we kind of had to do certain things. So we pick the winners for the races. And some of the other things we did is actually hard code some contract into this to make sure that it's as secure as it possibly can be. So as an example, on the token contract, we actually do have a tax modifier, and there's no point hiding away from that, but we hard coded into that contract that it can never go more than 5%. So we are, I believe, one of the only projects that can stand and look people square in the eye and say, we are 100% honeypot proof. This project can never be honeypotted. Even if I was the worst individual in the world, it can never, ever be honeypotted. It's absolutely as solid as it can be. We even audited our website to make sure our website has everything it needs to have on the back end of that. So it was a manual smart contract audit. A lot of tokens with some of the lesser well-known audits, they're just an AI that they run through. They look at very simple things that you've got. I actually tried to learn smart contracts for myself so that I knew what I was looking at, and I could obviously talk people through it and kind of take people through certain aspects of it. So yeah, this is just one element of our audit. We didn't stop there though. We got our token audited as well to make sure that that was really solid for our investors as well. So and this is live on their website as well. They have it up. So if you go into the Marbitz audit on the far right hand side, this is actually our token audit as well. So we audited both parts of our token, which a lot of tokens don't do. As long as they've got a tick box, they verify their contract. They don't bother.
No, they will not audit everything. Parts of the bait, they'll do parts of it, but not everything.
Yeah. So we deliberately made sure that every single bit of this were audited. Again, you can see there that there isn't a single thing that's come on the back of it. Obviously, there are a couple of reds that did come in was we enabled trading. So we actually stopped any sniper bots getting in. So we didn't have any single front running bots or sniper bots to buy any of our supply when we launched. So we never got the person grabbing a $80 bag that then can sell it for thousands. That wasn't a thing that ever happened in this project.
Wow, man, this is good. This is really good. You don't really hear the website and also the token itself being audited and everything on the page on your website to show transparency as well. So that definitely sets you apart on other projects that shows that transparency. And the fact that you're just around, like, hey, if I need to say something, I can just go ahead and ask you something, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's kind of where it becomes different. But again, we deliberately built this project with a view from our community. We wanted to build everything ourselves. Again, we've had a full stack development team that kind of build on the back of it. And some people would say, well, okay, you've got someone else building the contract. I deliberately learned how to deploy contract. I deliberately learned how to read Solidity coding so that I could do the deployment. So the deployment and everything that goes with the token is 100% within my control. There is no third party. No one else has access to it. It was all launched by me. So I learned how to launch tokens to make sure that I could do it all without any kind of third party risk.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is good though. Here's all the pass again. This is actually pass. And then another pass. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, there wasn't a single thing, not one thing that came back from the audit team that come in there. So this is interesting. A lot of people get kind of a bit concerned about this. Obviously, look, when you launch a meme coin, you're going to sell tokens on your community. We wanted to put a tax token. We want to build out our game. It's already been costed. So we want to look in terms of that. But equally, we want to make sure we've got marketing funds. We want to make sure we've got, got all the right things. We do have a dynamic tax structure. But like I said, hard coded into the contract is that we can never go above 5%. That's why you see that on the audit.
Yeah. It's hard coded in there, so there's no way you can go over 5%.
It just fails the transaction, so it can never be changed.
Wow. Yeah, cannot pause the contract as well. Can only pause the contract? No, they cannot.
Yeah. Yeah. Once we launched it, that was it. We couldn't do anything on the back of it. It's all then done. So you can see there, it gives you a bit of in terms of max wallet. So we have a 2% max wallet on. Again, it just stops people coming in. And really just taking everything. And what we don't want to do, and you'll know this as well as I do, is that you see a token launch. Solana's a great example of that, where it'll have a big green spike and then a massive big red spike comes in on the back of it. And that's the project done. It can take a big wallet. People get scared. And we wouldn't want to do that. We wanted to make sure that, for me, the little guys investing, and you want lots of little holders. That's how we can really utilize what we're building with this project, because there's so much more to it than simply buying and holding. We want to give a number of different elements to it. And there's a ton of stuff that we're working on right now as well to build out as well. So if you go right to the very bottom of the audit, you'll actually see that our website was audited, and there isn't many contracts or tokens that have done that as well, to make sure their actual website as well is safe for people to go across.
Absolutely. And this has been done in November. This got passed in November, I believe.
Yeah. 6th of November, we were fully audited. Then we went into full test mode on our decentralized application. And then obviously at launch. What's interesting as well is actually the auditors, I'm actually still in regular contact with. So they've actually supported us with some of the other things that go into this as well. So I'm still in regular contact with the auditors that did this. And, they've challenged anyone to find certain things within the contract. They offered $1 million if anyone can find a mint function in the contract. They offered $1 million if anyone can find a blacklist function. So that's how confident they were in our contracts. There you go. That's the website being fully audited as well.
Yeah. How did they feel like? What was the feedback from them in terms of like the process? When did they find this very, very good, a good experience? They find it very easy. Were they had any challenges with this as well?
No, they were incredibly challenging. The audit team were incredibly challenging. But look, if we truly want to build something that's going to stand the test of time, and we truly want to stand in front of this project and say we've made this as secure and as solid as we possibly can do, then we wanted them to be scrutinized. They were even scrutinizing real parts of the code line that we'd actually put in there, whether it had a decimal here or whether it had a exclamation mark. So we wanted them to do it though. We wanted to stand in front of this and say, we've built a incredibly solid project and we stand behind what we've built. And there's certain things that we've done to make sure that it'll stand the test of time. So if I was to say as an example, we will never, ever have to launch a new token contract. We will never have to go to a V2 contract. We built it in such a way that allows us flexibility. And the fact we run a dual smart contract allows us to be really dynamic if we want to do it as well.
Yeah, it seems like this is very flexibility. Like you have a lot of leverage you can really use with this as well. And you got the security to back up and the community to back this up as well. Wow, man. I think what was there, so it seemed to me this was planned out. Like you had planned all this out before, like in advance. How far in advance did you plan all this?
Yeah, so we started building this in February of last year. So this took about 8 months from inception to hitting the green button and going live. The two things though, the market wasn't great. So the market was very much in a period of consolidation that, no one was kind of really doing anything. So, and then we launched it as, Trump won the election and it kind of came into that real kind of sentiment in the market that we did. But, we've built it with the community in mind. We took advice. We actually had some of our community test it and test our decentralized application and everything else that kind of worked in. And, one of the big things we wanted to build was a business model. So many tokens rely on selling on e-community. They rely on new people buying in. We built a project that can be scalable to the most insane amount of volume, but then equally in times that are hard, you aren't in a project that's just done. I'll give you a quick example. I was live about an hour ago. We did a little kind of $50 giveaway. I think we did about $300-400 on the chart of just buys. It's really community centric, and that's what we wanted to do, while at the same time has an operating business model on the back of it as well.
And you keep the community involved in giveaways and
100%. Yeah.
So, because you've been through all this, you know that you have to do things to energize. So you've been through all this. You've been through a bunch of TGs, a bunch of Discords, talked to a bunch of devs, a bunch of community members. You kind of know, okay, we do need to get giveaways. We need to have, marketing, obviously. We need to have products rolling out. We need to have some of a roadmap that you actually hit the roadmap, not just have a map there just to have one there. Where are you now in terms of your roadmap? Is there anything that's coming soon that you can't say right now?
Yeah, look, I've been really honest and open with this, and I want to be really transparent in what we've built and how we kind of do it. So we listed on CoinMarketCap within 24 hours of launching. We listed on CoinGecko within the first week of launching. And we're on about 31 different token sites in which you can find our project. So we hit kind of loads of those metrics to start with. Equally, we really did ride out some very big volume selling right at the very start. So we did a pre-sale. Our pre-sale sold out in 3 minutes. We sold a 15 ETH pre-sale out in 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yeah, 3 minutes we sold the pre-sale out. And a lot of people would say, well, why did you launch the pre-sale? What was the pre-sale about? The pre-sale was our liquidity pool. We wanted strong liquidity. We wanted to make sure that we could ride out any kind of selling, and equally any kind of challenge that we came in. And then we put 80% of that liquidity pre-sale into the actual LP pool as well. So where are we at now? So we have delivered on a number of things we wanted to do. I think we want to drive some volume. We have our first 3 paid partnerships that I'm working on. Our first one is this Sunday. And what we're doing is leveraging marketing through this project directly back to my YouTube channel, because look, it's a utility I've got. It's a tool that we can use. And actually we've built a partnership with a coin that is going to be doing their first paid race. They get marketing, and we're already working on V2 of our decentralized application as well, which will integrate a different some marketing that we can do in there as well. And more importantly, we can start to build out that DApp as just something that people can use.
Yeah,
so
I was going to mention that.
Yeah, the thing we need to do now is drive volume to the project and really making sure that we are bringing a reason for community members to hold their tokens, to do something with their tokens. So again, we've got a $400 giveaway coming this weekend as part of a different token that's paid for that utility. People can take their BITZ tokens. They then can use that to buy the tickets or the raffle tickets. You can see some of the examples there, teamacoin.com, this one coming up. And here's the crazy kicker with this project. All those tokens you can see there that are going in, the 230,000 invested, those technically are never going to be in the supply ever again. So we are a secret, we are a secret deflationary token.
What?
What? Yeah, so we are a secret deflationary token that a lot of people don't see. But the way that we've built this, and if I go off track, Adam, let me bring me back. Bring me back.
That's impressive. Wow.
Yeah, so we have 2 smart contracts that this project runs on. We have the token contract, which is what you see on the chart. That's the one that ends in C269. If you were to buy Marbitz, that's what you basically buy. So you buy the Marbitz token. On the back of that, where our decentralized application runs into is we actually have a smart contract that does all of the race side of things. It's where you buy your tickets for the race. And what happens is anyone that buys those tickets, as you can see there, I think the latest number is about nearly 300,000 tokens that's gone into that. What happens is they actually go into our smart contract, never to be brought out again. The only way we can get them out is by burning them. So as of right now, we're at, just under 300,000, 274,000 tokens. So although it doesn't come off our supply, it's never going to be in supply ever again. No other project has ever done that, as far as I'm aware, and you may correct me on this, in the history of DeFi.
No, not that I can think of, and not this amount, the percentage of the tokens.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. So we can burn this. I think the last time I checked, we were about 3 or 4 million tokens had already been removed from the supply, never to be ever used again. Now, what we do differently to other projects is a lot of projects will burn those tokens. Well, what does that do? It burns it from the supply. If you've got insane volume, then you're fine. That will be really supported by your price going up. If you don't have that volume, if you burn those tokens, you can affect your market caps. All of a sudden, you could burn 1 million tokens and your market cap drops. And people say, hey, what's going on here? Like, why's the price, what's happening with this? So we've deliberately made sure that we can remove those tokens from the supply. If people know, they know. And then at the same time, if we want to burn them, then we can. So you can see we've already burnt about 20,000 tokens. It's not a huge amount, but we obviously can burn them if we want to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good strategy. That's a very did you come up with that strategy, or was it more like a group of people? Do you got other advisors saying, hey, you should do these type of things?
Yeah, I mean, look, we've been really transparent. Again, the great thing being live 6 days a week is people can just come in and give me a view on it. They can, we talked about LP and locking our LP and what does that look like? Absolutely. The other thing we've done is, and shout out to Vern as well. Vern's been a massive support on this token as well. We made a point of finding out, speaking to, connecting with all of our big wallet holders. So obviously the max wallet is 2%. Any of the big wallets, we deliberately tried to find out who they were, spoke to them. I have calls with them probably once a week, get their view on things. As a big wallet holder, what are you looking for in this project? What are we doing? So one of the things we're working on right now is how we can offer staking to our community. And actually, in typical Marbitz fashion, we'll make sure that when we do eventually get to the point where we will launch staking, we're actually going to pay out in Ethereum. So we don't give out supply. We don't give any supply out. It's really important to us that we don't do that. We make sure that our rewards are paid in Ethereum. Our contract swaps at the point of which the transaction happens. So therefore, we're not seeing this huge red candle. You're not seeing millions of tokens selling off. We're deliberately making sure that our swaps go back to Ethereum. Therefore, if we need to pay marketing, or we need to pay for exchanges, or we need to pay for listings, or anything we need to do, we make sure that then that's all paid out in Ethereum. You can see also we named any of our big wallets so that people are really confident in terms of what they are.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this, because a lot of times it's like a mystery. It's like a treasure hunt. It's like, where's Waldo? It's always like this. I think it's number 3. I think number 4 is it's all this guessing. And then sometime in the contract, it doesn't even say it in there. Like it's
exactly. So we deliberately made sure that you can see the number 1 wallet, which I believe should be on every single project. That's our Uniswap pool. So that is basically where people are buying from. That's the one that should be the number 1 wallet, because that's the one that's locked. We locked our liquidity. We made sure it was locked about. We made sure that, again, there's no point auditing your contract twice. There's no point building dual liquidity pools. No point building a dual smart contract for then this random scary wallet to have 20% of the supply in that, at any point people could sell on it. So we made sure that the top number 1 wallet is our Uniswap pool. So 12.5% is sat in Uniswap. You can see then we obviously listed our 3 other wallets. So exchanges is we will need them eventually as we list on exchanges. Our staking, once that's ready to go. And then you can see our marketing wallet as well. Interestingly, we did actually give out some supply, and I've been really transparent with the community. We gave a little bit out, didn't work out. What we did on the back end, though, was made sure that we actually had the Ethereum, that if they dumped on the chart, we would buy back on the chart to make sure that our community was looked after as well. And then everything else, you can see there's no more wallet above 2%. That's 2%. The max wallet that you can have. So some of those 2% wallets, we know whose wallets they are. We speak to them regularly. We make sure that, we take their advice. Why? Because they've invested heavily into our project.
Heavily, yes.
So we want to make sure that, what they're looking for in a token. And equally, one of the things that's good about having a community is you can take a project in whichever way you want. I don't have the answers. I don't have all the answers. I want to take a view. What's important now to someone that's put their hard-earned money into it? And I never, I will never kind of dismiss that as nothing. It's like, if people are prepared to buy this token, they believe in me, they believe in the vision, they believe in what we want to do. So their advice and their sentiment is important.
Right. Yeah, it is. I mean, they're like advisors, and you've got a number of people that got, round off the 2%. And some of them, pretty sure, is in this chat. I'm pretty sure. I'm very sure.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
not in the chat, but they're watching. I know they're watching right now, probably on X. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. And again, look, if you want to build something successful, then you don't have all the answers yourself. You find the ways in which people can walk through. You find the ways in which people can give you just advice. And, I never came into this space as a developer, and I was never in a world. The curiosity got the better of me, which said, what happens if you do a project right? What happens if you audit everything? What happens if you build everything? What happens if you're transparent? What happens if you just tell people what's on your mind? What if you take advice for people? All of a sudden, what do you have? You know, at the minute, we've got a very healthy chart. We have an incredibly healthy liquidity pool. We've got some brilliant holders that want to hold on the back of it. And we are now starting to see our business model actually come into fruition. We're actually seeing this bear out. And like I said, we've paid out over $7,000 to our holders so far. And that's before we launch a staking platform.
$7,000 to your holders?
Yeah, so obviously the part of the token is we actually race marbles. That's kind of a thing. We do it on the YouTube channel, and we have prize pools. Our first prize was $5,000. So one of the wallet holders that we had that entered the race won $1,500, second $1,250, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then obviously then we built that out on the back end of it. So so far we've given just shy of $7,000 away.
Wow.
And that's where it kind of starts to get interesting when you think about scaling. So if you were in a world where we were doing something like $1 million in volume a week, then we would be giving away $50,000 to our top holders and people. Yeah, just a cool 50K.
Yeah, cool. Absolutely.
So we will, a lot of people ask me about the liquidity lock, and I'm sure it's probably something on your mind. You sort of say, well, 2 months, okay, that feels like not a great length of time.
Exactly. I was going to ask about it, but I knew you had an answer for it, because people here, we're being transparent and
100%.
just going through all the processing here. But yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So we launched on Gempad. We launched on that platform as the pre-sale. Part of that pre-sale launch is that they lock your liquidity. Now, we were very fortunate that our token wasn't compromised. We did have the backing that if it did, we would have been able to, I guess, fund that personally. That's why we did a relatively small pre-sale. So we were very lucky that it didn't. The reason why it's only 2 months is we actually want to move it off Gempad. We're going to go and lock it with the Unicrypt. Right. So we'll, as soon as that 2 months comes up, the sensible thing to do, and I don't want to turn this into a thing about Gempad, but if you've been compromised, then that risk is there. You can't move away from that. We can't be in a world that, we don't move on Gempad, we lock it longer, and then we're compromised. So we've got to move it off there. So after that 2 months, we'll then remove it from Gempad. We'll lock it straight away on Unicrypt. And here's where Marbitz is different to every other project, Adam. Guess how we will do it? I'll do it live on YouTube for everyone to see. So I'll show people taking it out of one wallet and then locking it back on Unicrypt, so our community can see what we do with it. I'm
do this because you're extremely transparent, absolutely. And I
we
think
did it originally.
I will love it, Yes.
Yeah, 100%. It's the right thing to do, and I think what's interesting is people feel more attached to the project. We actually put some more liquidity in, just to show the community, okay, here's how you input liquidity. Here's how you can put liquidity into the project. Our tokenomics actually fund our liquidity pool, so that always goes in as well. So that's why we have such a strong level of liquidity, which means we can ride some pretty heavy sells. We actually had a 12.5K sell on the chart. Yeah, it hurt a little bit, but we built back up again on the back of it as well. So that's why it's important to have that strong liquidity pool as well.
You have to, absolutely, especially on projects and you want sustainability. And you want to, because holders, step at the top holders want to see liquidity high. They want to see a good percentages in there because that is safety of direction of the project, though. And I think you already knew that. Like, absolutely. And part of the tokenomics, it does go back to liquidity pool. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we put 1% on buys, 1% on the sells, go back. You can actually see it on the chart going in as well. So, in terms of being transparent, what's very different to ours, though, is it generally just cycles quite quickly. So you never really get this huge sell on the chart. A lot of tokens, they'll generally run something like 1%. It means people can front run the contract. It means people can front run the moment in which it sells. Right. Ours is set such a low percentage of the total supply that it sells relatively quickly and it sells relatively often. And it then converts everything to Ethereum, though. We don't carry a single.
Oh, the contract token automatically.
Yeah, the token already does it, distributes it out, apportionate to what it is, which we can change, by the way, as well, if we need to. So we can change how that is distributed. So we could put every single bit of our taxes into our LP if we needed to. We can just change that. And what's really good is our decentralized application, we can do everything from there as well. So we built that on purpose to make sure that we can do it all. So we can be really dynamic how we do it. We can make sure that our communities hold. And then eventually we want to kind of build out a number of different things on the back of it as well. So yeah, token already does that, but it does it at such a low level. It's difficult to front run the contract. A lot of tokens will launch it. They'll see that pool buildup of tokens. Then you can pretty much predict exactly when it's going to sell. With ours, you can't.
Yes. In terms of the reward pool, does that go to a contract as well?
Yep. So that goes to our contract. That does separately to the to the token contract as well. So that is a completely different smart contract in which you won't see it on there because it doesn't really carry a lot of the BITZ tokens. I can send you it though if you want to have a look at it. But that sits on there and we pay it directly out of there as well. It's already swapped to Ethereum. So we don't give away any tokens. No tokens come back out of this whatsoever. It's all Ethereum.
I like that. You know, rewards is in Ethereum, and I think people want Ethereum anyway. They want the Ethereum, or if you're on Solana or whatever chain you're on, you want that actual native token as well, because you want to protect your tokens, man. Because
Correct.
you only have, you only have so much.
Yeah,
and you only have so much left.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the other bit as well, and if I'm really honest with everybody, and as I've been, is if you, and generally what we do see, by the way, is a number of people that the wallets that generally win, they tend to buy back on the chart anyway. So actually it's almost like this 360 degrees cyclical thing that is really supporting the token. Anyway, a lot of people do it. And then we can do little ad hoc races and little ad hoc little things that we can kind of do. And we've got a couple of kind of things we're working on at the minute to kind of just bring a little bit more awareness to it. Obviously, spending some time with you and walking through it. I'm just super excited about the project. It's unique in the sentiment that we're just trying to do it right. And, you know, look, I've been in this space for 3 and a bit years and we've seen the good, the bad and the ugly. So the debate was always what happens if you do a project that just does it right.
Yeah, and you just
so far so good.
Exactly. And it's funny that you just hit trust and transparency, and you literally was talking about that. Because I think projects has a chance to go to millions and billions of dollar market cap. You just got to have that trust, transparency, that belief, communication, obviously, you know, direction. And it seems like you have some of the fundamentals there as well, which is really good because people want to see those type of things.
Yeah, exactly. And exactly like Crackerjack just said it there, no flash dumps if you're winning. So if we were to give away, so as an example, our first weekend, our first official kind of race and giveaway was $5,000. Well, imagine we gave away that in tokens. People would instantly you just end up with $5,000 dumped on your chart. Okay, what does that feel like to be an investor in that project then? That the minute it gets dumped on you, you know, and people win, all of a sudden, whereas we see it the opposite. When people win, they generally buy back on the chart as well. So that's kind of really helped us as well.
And the fact that you got on CoinMarketCap that quickly, how can you tell everybody? It's over. Oh wow, it's over 200 people in here. How did you able to do that? Do you have contacts with them, or did they see the potential of the project? How was that able to happen?
Yeah, so there's certain metrics you have to hit, certain things that you've got to deliver on, and we did everything right. Obviously, there is a way you can fast track it through on CoinMarketCap. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that CoinMarketCap reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, 2-Bit, we've heard you got this amazing project. Come and list with us." But you still have to hit a number of metrics. You still have to hit a certain volume. You still have to hit a take up in terms of holders to start with. And ultimately, at the end of it, they can say, no, CoinGecko was even more difficult than that. That required a certain level of volume. That required, again, certain holder counts. And more importantly, really solid in terms of what we audited. So where we really, I think, took an edge over many different projects that come out is we had the contract audit team backing us for these listings. They actually were prepared to get in contact with CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, and absolutely stand behind what we built to make sure that they were really comfortable, confident, and exactly what we built. So we had the credentials to go to them and to kind of put it out there and make sure that we absolutely listed with them in the right way, because at the back end of it, it is secure for people to invest in. We've deliberately hard-coded things in to make sure that as an investor, you're protected on the back end of it. Can I protect against people dumping it? Absolutely not. That's never going to be a thing. But can I protect in terms of people getting into the contract? Yes. Backdoors in the contract don't exist. You know, we did everything to make sure that it was absolutely right. And I think, you know, going through that process with CoinMarketCap, going through that process with CoinGecko to make sure that we absolutely listed correctly was critical. And I think that's why we got through as quick as we did, really. Because even people that kind of go through it and fast track it don't list as quick as what we did. Everything we built purposely on the back end supported us in that motion.
And I love the fact that you did partner with Ticker Trending as well. Pablo's Ticker Trending.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, look,
how
a lot
did
of his
those
business
discussions with? Yes, Pablo.
Yeah.
Did he reach out? Did you reach out to him?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, look, you know, we're all kind of connected in some way, aren't we? As a group of content creators and crypto educators, we're all kind of connected. And you know, if I see a DM and it says the Captain Adam Shelton, you know, I'm reading it. You 100% know I'm reading it. If it comes up and says Pablo Coe, I'm reading it. And I'd like to think the same the other way around as well. So,
Yes,
you know, Pablo told me about ticker trending, and look, I think his model, and in fairness, some of how he operates that and his kind of view of how that all works was where I got to with my project. Okay, how do you bring utility? How do you support your token that isn't just driven on volume? And I think that's where a lot of projects kind of get it wrong. They say, well, once the volume dries up, where do you go with this? What can I do with it? Well, the reality is right now our volume isn't the biggest thing in the world, but do you know what? We're still gaining holders every single day. We're still able to put a benefit to holding our token back to our community. And there's a reason to hold it as well. So I think part of that was making sure that we can do it, and then a business model that sits on the back end of it. So I think what Pablo's done brilliant with ticker trending, and I've definitely caught some of your videos specifically talking about it, is you give a reason for people to use it. If you have a reason for people to use it, you've got longevity with your project. And that's where memes are very different to what else we're building.
Absolutely. I think that'd be a good idea to collaborate with Pablo and ticker trending and Marbitz as well. Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea. And he told me when he was doing this a while back, and I was like, man, that'd be a good idea to give more light to other projects. And it's a little bit more user-friendly when you look at it. It's just more user-friendly. It definitely has advertising on here if you want to use it. It has your own trending there. And then it breaks things down a little bit more simplified. You actually put all this in here for transparency so people can see how much tokens.
Yeah, where all our token supply was. We've obviously then since then got, you know, moved that and done what we need to do to make sure that it's gone. So again, this was all about being, you know, I can't sit on a YouTube channel. And I can honestly say so far, Adam, no one's actually come in and said, what have you done with this? What have you done with that? Where's this gone? Why have you changed that? Where's this payment done? Because the reality is the last thing I want is to be live on YouTube and someone come in and go, hey, I just seen you move 10 million tokens and you sold it on the chart, and I can track your wallet because I can see it. I'm not about that. Never been about that. So we've got to do things transparent. We've literally got to operate this as business orientated as you possibly can, because if we don't, then what's the point? And there's too much to risk here. You know, I risk a YouTube channel. I risk 3.5 years of building a channel. I risk my reputation in the space. I risk investor money on the back end of it. I risk my own money. One of the things that we did is everything was paid for. So put your money where your mouth is. That was my view. Okay, well, I'll pay for the building of the decentralized application. I'll pay to make sure that the token's audited. I'll pay for everything else, because that's putting my money where my mouth is. Rather than, I think a lot of projects come out and say, we'll do a pre-sale. We'll take some of that pre-sale money and then we're going to build this and we're going to build that. And no. We were ready to go when we launched. And that's why it took us as long as we did. That's while at the same time, by the way, as having 3 children, a full-time job, running a YouTube channel. And I thought, well, why not do a project as well?
Come on. All that? Wow. How did you find the time to do it? How did you find the time?
Sleep is incredibly overrated. That's what I would say. But I think my view is if you have a motivation, then you'll always find the time to do the right thing. And you know, what's my motivation? My motivation is do the right thing by the community. It's do the right thing by what I stand for as an individual. And you know, I work as kind of a multi-site retail manager than my normal, you know, 9-to-5 job, if you like. Okay, well, what can I then bring that into this space and do all the right things? You know, sometimes it's a bit challenging, but at the same time, we're in this space for a reason. We truly believe it's going to change the global financial markets. So, you know, what a time to be involved in it. So, and yeah, like I said, Vern's laughing about having sleep. Like, sleep's it's so overrated. Trust me.
You gotta love Vern, man. You gotta love me. You talking about OG? You are an OG. Come on, Vern. Oh my goodness, go back, way back. So good to have you in the community, man. Which I'm not surprised, because projects like this, you kind of do want to. You definitely want to at least take a look at them. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, look, we have the biggest superpower that not many projects, I think, can stand by, which is we've got a community of people that want to hold. So we never really advertised our pre-sale. We never did a big marketing push on it. Why? Because I wanted people that were part of my community to be the people that hold the floor on this project. and really hold the tokens for a reason. So many tokens launch and they can have the best narratives. I've seen the best projects launch and be done within the first week because they just pump, people sell it and move on. You know, we've been out 3 and a bit weeks now. You know, we've had some ups, some downs, but actually we're still going. We have utility coming. We've got a reason to invest. We've got a reason to hold, and our community is standing strong. And yeah, people have took profits. That's life. That's life. You've got to be in that world where you've got to accept selling as part of the game. You know, we've had 5 days now of positive upward momentum. You know, we're holding 674K, 170K in liquidity. You know, we're holding it down.
Yeah, you really are. And the fundamentals and actually your foundation are the people in the chat. And then you got the other people that's watching. There's over 220 people watching. And I think a lot of them are just kind of just looking at them, just kind of just viewing by it. And that's usually what happens. That's why we do the AMAs, so that you can educate the audience, and then you can go ahead and, you know, make a decision about what you want to do as well. And the Telegram, I'm pretty sure, open. Do you do a lot of voice Telegram voice chats? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Look, I like to be in there. We do VCs in there as well. You know, I'm in there a lot. People just need to know what's going on. People need to make sure that they're comfortable in what they're invested in. If anyone does have a question, I mean, we had it a couple of times where people question a few things. Brilliant. Let me get on the live stream tonight and let's talk about it. Let me bring it up on the screen. Let me walk you through what we're doing. Let me walk you through all the different parts of what we're doing with the project. And again, not many projects can do that. The fundamentals of having the YouTube channel really do support it. The other thing we do is we've now started to, obviously with monetization that comes with it as well, so we can filter that back into the project. So all of this should grow at the same time. The project will grow, the YouTube channel grows. We have a Marbitz YouTube channel that we just started because that'll start to grow that out as well, which gives people a reason to watch that.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you've got
only Marbitz YouTube channel. You'll put all the information there as well.
Exactly. Yeah. All our races go on there. So as a project that wants to maybe invest or that maybe buys into our kind of marketing packages, they have a video they can use. They've got somewhere they can send their investors. It's a little bit more marketing to do it in that sentiment. So, you know, it kind of brings up a totally different part to our project as well.
I like it, man. I like it. I think it definitely has a place for, you know, in this space, transparency and the gaming. You pick the niche that definitely is going to be, it's definitely going to be one of the niches that people definitely would want to be in part of the gaming niche as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Here. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, and look, part of the reason why we did it in such a way was that eventually we do want to build it out. And I'm really conscious about talking about what the future looks like. And I'm really conscious about, you know, lots of projects will tell you these amazing things that they're going to do, and they never quite hit the mark. They never quite deliver on what they're committing to. One of the mottos I have in this project is we're going to under-promise and we'll over-deliver in terms of your expectation. And so we are in discussions with a gaming development company in the UK. We want to build our own marbles game. We then start to get into the whole world of NFT, utility, skins. You know, you imagine you have the captain's marble that every week goes down and one of your community members can win $25 every single week. Imagine that you've got the ticker trending marble that races down. Whenever ticker trending wins, they get a, you know, we can just do so much with it. The cost is about $20,000. So at the minute, we've got to be sensible in terms of where we invest our capital and what we do with it. But all those conversations are going on. I could sit here and tell you we're going to change the world when it comes to gaming, and we're going to change the world in terms of how that all plays out. But actually, I'd rather just build the project and we'll just show you in the longer term. I think a lot of people, when we started to build this out, probably didn't truly think we would deliver on what we've delivered, which is our very own, built from the ground up, decentralized application that no one else has. That's actually all hard-coded in with certain elements of it that are specific and unique to Marbitz as well. So it just gives us that utility that we can build on the back of it. And then if we really wanted to, we could actually sell it as a franchise product, but not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, you could. Absolutely. But obviously, there's more things you want to do with it first. At least have that option.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, where would I like to get to? I'd love to be one of the first channels that does $10,000 as a giveaway, $50,000 a giveaway. You know, if we were doing some big numbers in terms of volume, which people would say, well, how do you get to that point? For me, the difference with our project is we're not specific to a genre. We're not specific to a meme that's hot at the minute. Actually, what we're specific to, communities. And while ever I've been in cryptocurrency, that's one of the strongest things and the strongest narratives that I think a lot of people have. So that's what we've pitched up against. We're not trying to be the next Shiba Inu. We're not going to be the next big Pepe.
Right.
We're just going to build a community and a project that sits around that community. And that's very different to, I think, what a lot of tokens do.
Yeah, you're not trying to be the next one. You're just trying to be the best one that you have as well, of value, and also give back to the community as well. Because the more you give back, the more they're going to give back, to be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly. And that, look, that was kind of what we built. That's kind of what we did. That's kind of all the things that, you know, we tried to make sure that was just on what we needed to do. So we're already starting to work on our next generation. The great thing of having the full stack dev team that sit on the back of this, that are on contract to me, as it were, as well, backed by $1 million worth of insurance, because we want to make sure that, look, whatever we're building on the back end is protected. We're already starting to work on what that next iteration of the D app looks like. What could we add to it? A little bit of advertising space on the front. All of a sudden, if you've got 1,000 people using that every single week, that becomes valuable to certain people. That becomes a valuable new project. Take Pablo's model on ticker trending. Well, actually, imagine that you can go into our decentralized application, you see an advert for a brand new token that's launched, you click on the button, you can buy that token directly in our decentralized application. That all of a sudden adds a totally different, unique and feel to it. And it gives us a view of something we can do differently that not many people can do out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is a very good point. With ticker trending, with Marbitz, using some of that versatility and flexibility he has. And the thing about with Pablo, he can actually put, I'm sure he's going to add more things on the website to make the buying process and also make the experience process a lot easier, because I'm already seeing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, we listed, I mean, in fairness, I'll give credit where credit's due 100%. When we listed ours, we actually, and I think this is a claim to fame, and you can check it with him, we crashed his website when we listed Marbitz on there. we officially crashed ticker trending when we put Marbitz on there. So, but in fairness, you know, I said to him, hey man, we've done it. We've sent the payment, He was on it. We were on there. We were listed. Like, I was on his X space then straight after. So credit where credit's due. You know, we were super smooth on there. But yeah, officially, you can check with Pablo. We crashed ticker trending because we were too bullish. His words, not mine.
Oh my God. So much volume, or was it just the volume? What area?
I'd like to claim that we had so many people checking the project out that it crashed his website. But yeah, I mean, I think, look, we listed on there. I think a lot of people were kind of curious as to what we built. And I think when people see it, it's just its rawest sentiment. People don't understand what we've built on the back end of it. When you start to look into the fact we have dual LP pools, we have dual smart contracts. Like I said, we will never need to launch a V2 token. We're 100% honeypot proof. We have hard-coded elements of our smart contract that no one else has got. Then people start to think, okay, hold on a minute. This could really go somewhere. This could be, you know, one of those projects that we look back in a year's time and think, wow, you know, we really did kind of build on the back end of it. And we really did make sure that all of this kind of, you know, built out to be as solid as it possibly could do.
I like it, man. And I'm pretty sure people like the fact that there won't ever be a V2 in case you have to do some things to the contract.
There will never, ever have to be a V2 contract. And people can have me on record, you know, make sure that you favorite Adam's live stream. There will never be a V2 Marbitz contract ever. We don't need to. We don't need to, because we can adapt our smart contract that we actually use as the racing part of it to build anything we want to do on the back end of it. So we will never need to go to a V2. Our contract is 100% honeypot proof. It's got hard-coded lines of code in there. Again, we've shown different people. We actually were one of the few projects that Quick Intel auditors said that we had this function, that function, removed everything, took it all off because we simply could prove that it was in there. And again, that's where we put up the $1 million bounty, if you will, if they could go and find certain elements that was within there.
And the fact that you have the transparency, the actually real picture, not a PMP or some dog or a cat or something.
Yeah, I need to change mine though. Look at my picture, man. I look like an absolute weirdo.
Wow. So this is the team.
Yeah, so there is a few more. It would be wrong of me to say that Ram does everything on the back end of the decentralized application. He basically runs the team that sit on the back end of it. So yeah. You know, there's a few more people that sit underneath him. But yeah, we wanted to make sure that people were there. We wanted to make sure that people can connect if they need to. We built, you know, we bought the website, we bought the email. It's trivial things, but you'll notice that we're a .io website as well. We're not a .xyz that many projects do seem to have. Why? Because it's cheaper. You know, we weren't in a world where we're going to scrimp and scrape to try and get by this. We'll just do the right thing and make sure that all of the things we do is absolutely dialed in. So if one of the other things that I think would be great if you I mean, either you could show it or I'll take my screen on, is if you go right to the very, very top and you can see our decentralized application, it just gives you a flavor of what it looks like. So if you click on where it says the BITZ app.
Sure. And this is Ram. He's kind of working on this as well.
Yes, him and the team, kind of building this on the back end. So this is actually our full stack decentralized application that no one else has got. And this obviously is your way of connecting into the project, the way of connecting into it. So you would need to connect your wallet. So I'm happy to show it on my screen if you want me to share mine and do it this way.
No problem.
So if I share this and go, does that come up? Or have I done that wrong?
Yes, it does.
There we go. So so there's two options. This obviously brings up this is the deploy wallet that we have. So this obviously just gives us a lot of functionality that we have on here. So for example, when I was talking to you about taxes, we can actually reset our taxes and our distribution as to where these taxes sit. So it just gives you a view as to how they split, 3% on the buy, 5% on the sell. And you can see where some of these then split across it. We can actually change it if we want to directly in this decentralized application as well. And then obviously we have our races that we've had. So these are all the different races we've had so far. Our current one, obviously the one that you looked at, nearly 300,000 BITZ tokens have been put into this. And you can see the time here, 9:45 is which when we race. And here's the countdown timer at the bottom that you can see going through there as well. You can see some of our previous winners that have gone through. These are all people, these are all people that have won. And you can see some of the wallet addresses. Again, this is all about transparency, making sure that people can see what we've got on there. So if I just quickly change my change the wallet address, and I can show you just a little bit on the back side of this, what it looks like if you are just someone who's interested in getting into the project. So this is what it would look like. Obviously, you can see clearly this is one of my wallets, so I don't have anything in. But if I want to get into it, I can just purchase BITZ tokens. This is a Uniswap skin that you can just directly go into it. It connects directly to your wallet, and you can just buy straight on the chart. Equally, we have our playbook and rules, which talks a little bit about what we do. Any results that's gone through. If you've been in races, it's going to bring up something on here as to say that you were in it. And then we simply settle on here. So if you win on ours, you can see that none of these have got claims on it, because clearly that would be not good if I won anything. People come in here and they just directly claim straight off our decentralized application as well. So all of which traceable on the blockchain, and all of which shows people exactly what they can get. So this is our decentralized application. No one else has got it. No one else can take it. It's all built specifically for us, and obviously just gives us a ton of different things. You can see we're on the base network as well. So that just kind of makes sure that, you know, we have everything we need to have. We built everything specifically to make sure that what we built is right, it's usable, and it's got a future as well, which I think is important.
And it's all through the mobile apps. Is it on desktop as well, or just?
Yep. So it's on mobile, it's on desktop. You can connect as long as you go through something like MetaMask and you go through the browser function in your MetaMask wallet. It's all connectable from there. We stress test a number of different wallets. Equally as well, part of our development team is that they will actually connect with people that are having problems. So we do have the ability, and a number of community members have struggled. They will directly connect with some of the customer service parts of our development team to make sure that they can get in, they can do it. And again, any problems that come on the back of it, so we can fix that as well.
It's like you thought about so many different things here. I'm just... But you started in February, so you had a lot of time to plan everything and build an application, put the team together, put the transparency, and then Base. What made you choose Base other than all the other chains out there?
Yeah, so I think Base has got a good narrative. We're currently working on an airdrop finance listing, which have been big for us. But we need to be able to do microtransactions at small fees, because obviously in some instances we'll be taking $5, $6. So I'll give you an example. The Sunday race that's come in, it's a $400 prize pool. It's going to cost people $6 to get in. So we need to be able to do small transactions. Ethereum layer 1 wouldn't work. Solana, the actual coding is something called Rust. So it's much more difficult to code on Solana. Equally, it's not scalable as much. So you're very specific to Solana. You can maybe go to Casper. That's probably about as it. Solidity gives us loads of possibilities to move across. And Base obviously just gives us the speed and the transactional fee cost. And equally, I think it's an undervalued blockchain. I think it's got a big opportunity coming this year. I think it's kind of, as that's building out, I think it's going to be really big. So yeah, that's why we went with the base chain. It's super cheap, super easy, lots of scalable options, lots of build outs. They've got a big development team that sit on the back of it. So just gives us that flexibility that we needed.
Yeah, I would recommend you do on base because it does give you a lot of flexibility, and it's affordable, and it's an up and coming chain that has a powerful team. Those guys they got big plans on base. So you're going to hear more about base.
Yeah. And if you think about it, you know, any announcement of, you know, Aerodrome or the base network and how that links directly into Coinbase, you know, you've got to play the long game. Now, clearly, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Coinbase listed, it's coming down. You know, you never know, do you? You never know. And I think the base chain has got such an opportunity to kind of build out that it made sense to go there.
But we do have a question here. If a project wants to sponsor a race, what do they need to do?
Super great question, LK. And actually, we've got 3 projects right now that they're doing it. They simply just go and request it on our website. So you go to our website, very top of the website, it says request a race. You fill it in, you send that in, and then we do all the rest on the back end of it. So this could be a way of monetizing it for your community. That could be a way of doing it for your project. We're currently working on something to bring a number of different communities together to kind of do it. But it's simply, you just go over there, you fill it all out, and then we will take care of everything else that kind of fits on the back end of it. So super easy to do, really straightforward. And again, it just gives people the opportunity to do. We actually have a very, very big partnership that we're hopefully launching next week with something called On-Chain, which will allow people to directly buy Marbitz with Apple Pay. So what does that look like? That looks like sitting around the Christmas dinner table. I just want to run some Marbitz. I want to run a little bit of marbles race. I want to kind of do it with the boys. That will give people the opportunity to buy Marbitz directly on our chart using Apple Pay. Here's the kicker. That will also allow people to directly sell Marbitz and transfer it back to fiat as well without having to go through any third-party custody, without having to go through an exchange. Just gives us another bit of flexibility. And then part of our V2 of our decentralized application will be that process will be automated. So as an example, we could do the influencer marbles race. Everyone chucks in $100. 10 of us do it. Or the ticker trending marbles race where 10 projects all chuck $100 in and one community or one project win $1,000. Where we wanted to build as well, imagine you're a project that's struggling right now. Imagine you've launched your project, you've put your heart and soul into it, and you're just not getting the volume. You've had a big sell on the chart, and you just need a boost. Well, imagine then that you could come as part of 9 other tokens, you put a little bit of money in, and you could be the one person that walks away, and you drop $1,000 on your chart, you drop $2,000 on your chart. All of a sudden, your project has a little bit of a catalyst. You could even buy $100 every single day. You start to it. What do people like buying, Adam? They like buying green candles. Why? Because they don't watch your show and they don't watch my show. So they need to know exactly what they should be doing. Exactly. But this gives people the opportunity to do it. So you can see some of these little buys coming in. That's what gives us the opportunity with the base chain. These are people getting involved in some of the races that we're doing.
So that's what that is. Okay.
Exactly that. So, you know, if people want to get involved, then, you know, absolutely we can do that and we can facilitate that. And there's a small cost to it. And that cost goes directly back into the project as well. And that's the idea we stole off Pablo. We stole the business model idea off Pablo because you need a project that's not going to rely on volume. It's going to rely on everything but volume. If you've got that, then you've got longevity.
Absolutely. Everything but volume. So there's other ways of actually getting momentum, you know, and so, and that's where I think a difference of meme coins or just the mindset of a dev is you always feel like you need volume, but you just need momentum. You just need things moving. You need stuff moving, the belief, because if the community believe things are moving, then that's where they'll be able to, or at least consider investing more because they're like, this is going to eventually turn into this.
Exactly. I mean, if you think about where we're going to take this, or certainly some of the partnerships we've already done, and bear in mind, we're still only 3 and a bit weeks old. We're going to be in a world where people are going to be able to buy this token with Apple Pay directly on their phone. They don't need a wallet. They need a phone number and they need an email address. The kicker is we'll be able to convert that back to fiat as well. You could be around with your friends. You could be around with family. You could just say, do you know what? I've got a great idea. Why don't we just have some fun? And we wanted to bring fun back. I think a lot of times projects take themselves a bit seriously. Everyone's in it for a quick buck. Everyone wants to buy today and sell tomorrow. We want to be that token that actually it's fun. Come and join the live stream. Have a purpose to be involved. If I was to tell you that we've already had 8 songs built for Marbitz by our community members, we've had things paid for by our community. Yeah, none of them are listed just yet, but yeah, we've got 8 music tracks that have been built as well for Marbitz. People just really are behind the project, and they really want to just see something different. And like I said right at the very start of this AMA with you, what happens if you just build it right? What does that look like, as opposed to launching a dog with a hat on it and seeing what happens?
I completely understand. And this person, he says he has a question. What other use cases will Marbitz have in the near future? I think you kind of touched a little bit this as well, especially on the roadmap and what you expect from Q1.
Yeah, I mean, we can take it whichever direction we want to take it. So obviously right now it's going to be around the narrative of things like V-Bucks when you look at Fortnite, or those in-game coins that many have, because that gives us the ability to build out that. The fact that we're going to have this ability to do fiat to crypto, crypto to fiat, will actually just opens up a ton of different narratives that we can get to. One of the things we purposely did with our decentralized application is we could actually turn that into a launch pad if we wanted to. Now, I don't want to do the traditional launch pad that we launch meme coins onto there, but actually we could do it where we smart contract. We can then allow people to maybe go and launch their own project, or they want to do a thumbnail course, or they want to learn how to do Photoshop. One of the things we've actually done through the channel is we put 11 people through a technical analysis course just from that. So we want to do all that kind of stuff. So there is a ton of different ways. What I would say is we'll always take the view of the community as to where they want to take it. Because I think if you do that, you'll always have people that are interested in your project.
Right. And they feel part of the project as well. And then that'd be more willing to hold or invest more or participate in the utility. That's all it is. I mean, it's really like a basic, it is like a business. It's like, you have your investors in this, you have your employees, potentially of your team, and here are the function that we're trying to do. If I understand what you're trying to do, I'm going to feel more comfortable of being more part of it, not just being a secret. Literally.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And if you've got an opinion, and if you've got a view, and you're part of a community that listens, just now you're reading the chat the same as I'm reading the chat. We do this because we enjoy connecting with people. We do it because we have a passion for what this space is all about. Well, how many people go into telegrams? How many people join projects where no one cares why they're there? All they care about is whether they bought something on the chart or not. The minute you sell, we've all heard it, haven't we? The minute you sell, you're a G, get out of the project. Why have you sold? Da, 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 da. Do you know what? We're not about that. We want people to come in, give a view, have a direction they want to take the project. And then if it's a good idea, we'll listen to it. Some of our best ideas that have come out of the back of it have been through talking to people. Lots of our decentralized application functionality were built out of the 8 people that tested our decentralized application. So much so we actually deployed on the Ethereum testnet so that everyone could really test it live. We deployed our contract. We deployed some of our tokens as test tokens so that, when we did launch, we were ready for every eventuality. And $1 billion project would be nice.
Yeah. I mean, I keep going back to this, and we mentioned before. I see what a top gaming token, the market capitalization. Obviously, there's some things to go, but it shows the potential out of it. $27 billion in the market cap, 4.17 billion volume, and that's just in the last 24 hours. So the gaming niche is definitely a main factor in this bull run, no question.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't think it's moved yet either. I think the whole gaming sector's still got a leg up to go. I think the market's still got a long way to go until we get anywhere near the cycle top. So, I think that's important to us. The other thing that just talking about market cycles that we can do that I think a lot of tokens won't be able to is and the reason we built it the way we did, when the market cycle tops, obviously don't forget everything's converted to Ethereum. We'll convert all our Ethereum back to USDT. So we'll hold stable coins into the bear market. Why is that important? Well, it's important because we want to be the project in the bear market that can still do $1,000 giveaway, that can still do $500 giveaways. We're not reliant on our Ethereum price just dropping. We'll convert everything, and we can simply do that. Our contract is built in such a way that we can pull the Ethereum back out of not the token contract, because that liquidity is locked, out of our gaming contract, swap it to USDT and put it back in, and then just continue on using the USDT instead of Ethereum.
And I like the fact you don't even touch the supply. So you're basically saying, okay, you're not giving in the supply. We're just going to keep it in Ethereum. And because each tokens matter. To me now, your token is more valuable now. It's definitely more valuable.
Absolutely. Exactly. what does that give? That gives reason for people to have the token. If you have one of the Marbitz tokens, we're not going to dilute that by giving it away to some random influencer or giving it away to an exchange. I mean, we could have listed on L-Bank quite comfortably. They wanted 25 grand and they wanted tokens for that. Well, do you know what? I know exactly what happens with that token the minute L-Bank get their hands on it. So, you know, we're not in that place. Our tokens are valuable and they're important for people to hold. We want to bring utility for the reason they've got them. We want to give you use case for them. But it was also, we're not going to dilute them by just giving them away. And I think so many people get that wrong. So many people are comfortable in the sentiment of giving away. We've actually turned down relatively big, what I would deem as relatively big influence that I think would have a lot of weight because they wanted supply. And we simply won't do it. I just don't think it's the right thing to do.
No.
I mean, Adam wanted 20% of the supply, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. Like the whole 20%. I'm like, whoa. Yeah. I'm an exchange now.
Yeah. Yeah. We're listed on the Captain's Exchange. That's what it's all about. I would give it 20% though. 100%.
Wow. Well, as we wrap things up, we've been on an hour.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I literally just looked at the time and I was like, where is this hour and a bit gone? What the hell?
Well, when you got a good project and with transparency and a lot of depth in the community and things like that, that happens a lot. You're not really reaching. When you're not reaching for things, that shows us it's a really good project and it's a really good future for it. That's what it shows.
Yeah, look, I appreciate it. And yeah, I appreciate you giving the time on the space. And like I said to you before I came live, like genuinely, you're one of the first people that I started watching back in the space. And, you know, to be sat here, I would have never in a dream, you know, in a month of Sundays thought I'd be sat on the Captain's live show talking about a project that I've launched. So I just want to thank you for your opportunity and thank you for your audience. And look, all I'd ever say to anyone that's interested in it is go and critique everything about it. Go and research everything about it. Go and write a list of 1 million things that you want answering and then come and join me on my live stream and put it to me. You'll tell if I'm lying or not. That's the thing. I'm comfortable sitting on camera and letting people absolutely go for it. So, but no, I really appreciate it, Adam. I really do appreciate it. And again, thank you for your content you've put out. It's you know, really, really good content on the back end of it. And I'm excited about this bull run, man. I'm excited to go through it with some great people in this space. And, you know, let's see where we get to with Marbitz for sure.
Absolutely. And thank you. I've been following you for a long time as well. I really like the project. I like the future of it. I like that you put in a category that has a lot of potential and people are going to be looking to invest into. Good community. And yes, I do have one more piece of content coming out with the Captain spreadsheet. It does show you, encourage you to buy and hold. That's basically what it does to hit every market cap that it's going to go. So as we wrap things up, any final remarks of the future and today?
Yeah, no, look, again, massive thank you for letting me come on and talk about it. I'm incredibly passionate about the project. I've always said to people, you know, this project won't die due to me not committing to this because I've got motivation that sits behind it. And, you know, one of the things we'll do is we'll absolutely make sure that if you hold our token, you absolutely have a reason to. And I think that's our motivation on the back end of it. So once again, thank you so much for letting me come on the space. Really, really appreciate it. And again, thank you for your content as well. Massively, massively appreciate it. And yeah, I've been subbed for a long time to your channel. So it's truly my honor to come on your channel, man. It really is.
Well, we'll talk later. Hopefully we'll do this again and we'll see you later. Thanks everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out Marbitz today. Grab a couple of tokens. You'll like it.
Do it. Thank you so much.
Thanks.